On Saturday morning, I get a phone call about 6:30 from the shop superintendent saying that there's an alarm going off in the office at Gator, and he can't get Chad on the phone. The next thing he said was, I tried to go up there and I couldn't get there. And I said, well, why you couldn't get there? And he said, well, I was headed down Hatchell Lane, and about 2 blocks before Highway 16 where the shop is, there's water everywhere. I said, what do you mean water everywhere? He said, it's everywhere. And I looked over at Gator Mill Works. It was the most awfulest thing I ever seen.
There isn't a fancy cable news name for the disaster in Louisiana. While much of the country was caught up in the Olympics, the state was suffering.
My father called me that morning around 7 and said, son, you're not gonna believe this, but there's 3 feet of water in the building. I said, that's not possible.
Even though it wasn't mine anymore, it was my baby. And the first thing I thought of was my son.
I tried to get here to the facility, couldn't make it. The water was too bad. Not that I could do anything by going there. It's just instinct. I can remember pulling on the Highway 16 from Lockhart and getting out of the truck, pulling in the driveway on that Monday, and not hearing a sound. Silence. And it was strange how everything had vanished.
I can't say I had any idea where to start, but I did tell Chad standing over the rubble that I still take us. I still believe in the people here.
And it's hard to put it in perspective, but you have not only them as a business, but all the other people that made up Gator Millworks that were affected by the flood, homes. So it was much bigger than just replacing equipment.
We said, you know what, we're gonna go to Greg's house. Greg received water as well. He woke up with water in his home. So we went there first after we could start to rebuild. And that was really the transition of thinking through of like, they all need help, our people. So every day, from that day forward, we took half our staff every day and helped them rebuild their house, their home, their family's home, while also doing ours. And that's something that never changed today.
We just rallied around him, and me and Robert's wife made sandwiches for everybody and brought them to different houses and made different meals for everybody and just helping everybody out. That's the only part I could do.
I remember riding around and just seeing some stuff still underwater and how high the water was. We didn't leave our house for days.
Around the clock, as much as you could do each day until that day ended. Then you do it again, and it was 7 days a week. It was in ridiculous conditions, just like everybody else. It really shifted us into completely unknown territory for all of us. As far as rebuilding a mill shop, we had a few objectives, which was to contact all of our general contractors we were working for at the time and tell them what had happened, what we're doing, what situations we're in, what capabilities we had lost, what we could do to meet the schedule.
It was the worst thing that possibly could have happened to Gator Millwork. But in the long run, I bet you he would say it's one of the best things that ever happened to him, as well.
Does it change things that it'll never be before as it was before? Yes, but I do think that disastrous moments, challenging moments, really can define who we are as people and as a company. I think it just allows us to be ready for things to hit us, to approach us, to make a pivot. And not to run from something, but to run through it.
When school took weeks to open back up because our school completely flooded the first floor. And I remember that Gator was doing the cabinets, fixing the cabinets at my middle school. And I remember seeing Mr. Gregg walk in one of my classrooms at one point, doing the cabinets and stuff.
These moments like this really define us if we can come together and help each other like we did, to get back to what is either what we had or even make it better. And I think that's what I'm proud of, to know that we can look back to see what we were, which was, we had nothing.
It validated what I had known was there as far as him being able to do the right thing in crisis.